iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Hey there, everybody, it's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards, get out the copay. The office is open, my friend. I have a lot to talk to you about today. I've got the Giants last night. I've got Mexico City coming up, and I really want to discuss that because I think that's just a nightmare. I really believe that's a nightmare game. And so actually, let me just start with the Giants. And then I also want to talk about Coaches on the Hot Seat, which is an article that I wrote today for ScoutFantasySports.com. So first, the Giants. Say what you will about Eli Manning. At the end of the game, had they not come back and won, I would have supported anybody who would have said, get this guy out of there. But when it counted, Eli put out a great ending performance, and the Giants won that game. They won that game. Say what you will, made a great pass to Ingram, a great pass to Shepard, a great pass to Barkley. Is Eli a great quarterback? No, but his offensive line is terrible. I mean, if you watched that last drive, did you not want to kill Will Hernandez and Jamin Brown? I mean, seriously. You can't get holding penalties. You can't get false start penalties. And the crazy thing is, Eli had Odell Beckham open for another touchdown. Beckham played well, not spectacularly, but well. Ingram had a great catch when it counted. They have to use Ingram more. They have stopped using Ingram. And where was Sterling Shepard? 2 catches for 9 yards? Seriously? I mean, it was a great touchdown catch. This guy being the number 1 receiver on 10 different teams in football. So the Giants, the offensive line is just bad. I don't care if they have a top 5 pick. Get offensive linemen in there. It's miserable. For San Francisco, I want to give all the credit in the world to Matt Breida. I thought he did well. Okay, I thought Matt Breida did well. And I thought that George Kittle did well. And Nick Mullins, I thought, had a respectable game. He wasn't fantastic, but he's better than C.J. Beathard. This guy absolutely looks like a potential starter in the NFL. I mean, I thought that was impressive. Right? I really think that he looked pretty good. Okay? I think that he looked pretty good. Not somebody that I'm going to buy into, but I thought he looked pretty good. So, you know, and certainly didn't hurt you. If you had Marquise Goodwin, if you had Kittle, if you had Breida, if you had all these guys, it certainly didn't hurt you. Right? Which is what happens when a backup quarterback gets in there. You're like, oh man, this guy's going to wreck me. He didn't wreck you. Okay? He didn't wreck you. But I'm going to tell you this. What's going to wreck fantasy seasons? What's going to wreck fantasy seasons is this game in Mexico City. So Adam Schefter puts out a tweet today. Discussions continue about whether Monday night's Chiefs-Rams game will be played in Mexico City, LA, or postponed per sources. The NFL is determined to play it Monday night in Mexico City, but the field is a mess and might not be safe for players. It's a significant concern. So the minute you hear the words, might not be safe for players, shouldn't that be the end of the discussion? Seriously. The minute you hear those words, should your brain not shut off and say, what the heck is going on here? Why does this game need to be played in Mexico City? Tell me. I have 5 letters for you. M-O-N-E-Y. Money. Do you really think the Mexicans care about this game? Seriously. Maybe a few do. I would be willing to bet that most of them don't care. The NFL cares. Probably getting a lot of money for this. But Chiefs, Rams, Patrick Mahomes, Todd Gurley, Tyreek Hill, any one of these guys gets significantly injured, I'm going to Roger Goodell's office with a baseball bat and I'm taking him out. I swear to God, I'm taking him out. I'm taking his secretary, I'm taking the security guard, I'm taking him out. I'm going ballistic. Because there's no way that game needs to be in Mexico City. Greedy. So not worth it. So not worth it. What is there to determine? Oh, it's not that bad. Maybe they could play. Seriously? You're going to do that when you have the Chiefs and Rams, 2 potential Super Bowl teams? I'm telling you, I know you won't believe me when I say this, but it's true. I'm going to tell you this story. So years ago, I coached, and you guys all know this, I coached girls volleyball. So one of my very first years coaching, I was coaching middle school. Okay, and I've coached varsity for years, but this was one of my very first years coaching. And the team we played, if you can believe this, did not play in a gym. They played outside. They literally had an outdoor court. So I said to my girls before the game even started, okay, all I said is the following. I said, if any one of you dives on this basketball court, I'm taking you out of the game. And they're like, why? What do you do? Why, coach? I said, because I don't need any of you getting injured. It's one thing to dive in a gym. It's one thing to dive on asphalt. That's a bad life decision. Sure enough, my star setter goes and dives for a ball. I pull her right out. Now you're thinking I'm crazy. She's my star setter, right? Best player on my team. Do you think I want her to get injured? Do you think I want her to be out for the rest of the season and playoffs because we were playing on a crappy asphalt court against a crappy middle school in the middle of nowhere? Seriously. If I'm Andy Reid, or if I'm Sean McVay, man, I'm playing my scrubs in this game. I just lost Cooper Kupp if I'm Sean McVay. You think I can ill afford to lose Brandon Cooks or Todd Gurley? The NFL better get this right. Because I'm telling you, this could blow up so badly if they're wrong. If they're wrong, this could take down the league. You think I'm overreacting? I don't think I am. I don't think I'm overreacting because when a star player goes out, a team's chances are in the garbage. People are upset. People start to get angry. Fantasy owners are upset. There's millions upon millions of people who play out there. You think we want Todd Gurley to injure himself on turf in Mexico City? I don't even want the American soccer team to play in Mexico City. Come on. Bunch of joke. Joke, all for greed. So tired of it. So tired of the greed. It's like it's not enough money. Put me the head of the NFL Players Association. I guarantee you I make a better deal than the idiots that they had in charge there. We may not play for 5 years, but I wouldn't let those guys on a field without getting a better deal than they're getting. That they have to go and play, that put their lives in risk, which is already risky, and now they got to go and play in a bad field in the middle of Mexico? Are you crazy? The dumbest thing I've ever heard. All right. Getting all hot and excited here. So I have an article on scoutfantasysports.com, and it's basically coaches on the hot seat. Now I'm going to give you a couple of coaches. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of coaches that I believe have to be fired. Now I want to know your opinion too. Let me see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys have to get fired. I gave also guys who should get fired too. How does Todd Bowles keep a job? How does Todd Bowles keep a job? Ask yourself this question. What was the last game that the Jets looked good? Can you ask that? What was the last game the Jets looked good? Does the offense ever look like it's producing? I don't think so. The defense got played by Matt Barkley. It's a joke. He's got to get fired. All right, who else is going to get fired? Mike McCarthy has to get fired. Mike McCarthy has to get fired. He has ruined the career of Aaron Rodgers. You're going to look back and go, Aaron Rodgers should have been in 5 Super Bowls. Why wasn't he? Because Mike McCarthy stinks. The worst play caller ever. And Aaron Rodgers just probably has too much class to say anything. Right? Dirk Cutter. Dirk Cutter should have been fired at the end of that game. Well, it's not his fault that they couldn't score in the red zone. It's got to be somebody's fault. If it's not the players, if you can't cut every player, then you got to cut the coach. You got to start somewhere. And I'll give you one other guy who I said should be on the hot seat. Matt Patricia has to be on the hot seat. So let me say this. I don't care if my team loses. I'm okay. I can get past the loss. But I'll say this. Here's the difference between the 49ers and the Lions. What's the 49ers record? 2-8, right? 2-8. Didn't they look like they were giving it 100% last night? Didn't Nick Mullins look like he was trying until the last second? Didn't Matt Breida look like he was doing everything he could to win that game? Didn't George Kittle and Marquise Goodwin give 100% of their efforts? Do you feel the same way watching the Detroit Lions? Because I know I don't. That team looks soulless, lifeless. Got to start from the head coach. Now, maybe you give Matt Patricia more time. Maybe you do. I don't know if I do. I want a team who plays hard. I want a team who plays hard every time out there. Those guys look like they're done. Seriously, they look like they're done. Pathetic. Really pathetic. That's my litmus test. Does my team put forth effort? I can't control a lot of things, but I can control effort. You don't put effort out there, that's not acceptable. I need you to try. As long as you try, that's all I can ask. You may not be good at what you do. You may not be good at what you do, but as long as you try, I can't fault you for that. The fact that you're not good, I mean, that's just life. Some people are better than others, right? There's winners, there's losers. But effort, you can control. It's like not doing homework in school. I always tell my kids, if you don't do homework, it's like slapping your teacher's face. I don't care if you don't do well on a quiz or a test, but I do care if you don't get in your homework. Right? So, okay, guys, I need you to know something. As we're moving forward, if you play in high-stakes leagues, okay, if you play in high-stakes leagues, just want to read you this rule. Teams may acquire players not on any roster within their league with one exception. Players cut during week 11 and 12 may not be reacquired by any team. This is done to minimize potential collusion. So, if you think you're going to cut somebody, let's say Steven Gostkowski's going to cut him. I'm going to get him next week. No, you're not. Because if you cut him, you can't get him back. So be very careful with who you cut because you may not be able to get them back. Just telling you that right now. It's a great rule. It's important to have it because we can't have collusion in high-stakes leagues. So just be aware. Okay? But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. I'm back tomorrow with Waiver Wire Wednesday. This is Dr. Roto saying be well. And by the way, I didn't want to forget. I did forget, but I won't. VegasWhispers.com. Enter HOT50, which is our promo code. And look, this has come up a couple of times. You know, this happens on SiriusXM. This happens everywhere. People only tell you when they do well. They don't tell you when they do poorly. And I want to give credit to Steve Renner. Steve Renner wrote a great article about where he was right and where he was wrong with DFS last week. I give that guy a lot of credit. It's not easy to say, hey, I was wrong. But you know what? If you want people to trust you in this industry, if you want people to care about what you do, you have to own up to being wrong. Now, I could tell you I was right all day if I only tell you the 2 times I was right. I need to tell you the 3 times I was wrong as well. That's the only way we build trust and you believe that I can help you win your leagues, because that's what I'm here to do. All right, guys, you know it and I know it. Let's get it done. Okay, guys, this is Dr. Roto saying be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!